CNZ, the only app that suits even the most militant liberals, with sensual details from Trump's arrest, featuring your favorite CNN anchors and correspondents.
He's the first American president to ever be indicted. This is truly a historic and humiliating moment.
Trump is a sad, defeated man. They made him come from Florida, where it's 80 degrees, to New York, where it's only 60 degrees. How depressing for him.
And his motorcade wasn't even that big. I thought it would be bigger, but it was so small.
CNN doing their best, trying to pander to, I guess, the other side now with some of their commentary. We'll see how it goes, or I should say Saturday Night Live doing their best. All right, next up, Denang Dick, a.k.a. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, evidently re-aggravating an old Nam injury, celebrating a little too hard at the University of Connecticut's NCAA parade on Saturday. According to the senator's tweet, he fractured his femur when a fellow parade goer tripped and fell on top of him. Blumenthal underwent surgery yesterday. Broken femur. That's not good. Blumenthal, of course, a Vietnam War hero, so he says. The senator strapped to the side of a Huey just before Saigon fell, taking fire from Viet Cong. Blumenthal risking it all to save a young trans boy long before it was fashionable. The child only wanted freedom and a ban on hate speech on social media. When Blumenthal returns to the Senate, he'll make good on that second promise, we hope. Next, an update on Elon versus the liberal media. National Public Radio in a standoff with Twitter. NPR refusing not to tweet. They say they won't tweet until Musk removes the very appropriate state-affiliated media tag that appears on the outlet's profile. The tag groups NPR with organizations such as that operate on propaganda, such as Russian state-run news outlet RT and China's Xinhua news agency. NPR executives argued NPR operates independently of the U.S. government, and while federal money is important to the overall public media system, NPR gets less than 1% of its annual budget on average from federal sources. Now, we all know the designation has nothing to do with how NPR is financed, but their insufferable coverage, left-wing coverage, pandering constantly to the Democrat Party. Nevertheless, Twitter changed the designation today to the slightly less damaging government-funded media, joining the likes of BBC, PBS, and Voice of America. BBC has its own issues with the government-funded designation. In a statement to CNN, they said, "We're speaking to Twitter to resolve this as soon as possible. BBC is and always has been independent. We are funded by the British public through a license fee." NPR has not posted a new tweet since April 4th. And incredibly, all that you have missed is propaganda. But it is fun to watch Elon make everybody sweat, calling them out for exactly what they are. That's all he's doing. He's calling them out. They only push one side in a country that has a two-party system. And they don't want to hear it when somebody calls them out. Well, tough luck, NPR. You should buy Twitter. Finally, a newly proposed bill in California introducing what's going to be called the Ebony Alert system. It would work similar to Amber Alerts for any missing or abducted children, but this one has a racial component, of course, because it came from California. Notifying the public exclusively of missing black children and missing young black women. According to the author of this bill, black children are disproportionately classified as runaways in comparison to their white counterparts who are classified as missing, and therefore many black children do not receive the Amber Alert. Now, this, of course, is ridiculous. Many children of all colors don't receive the Amber Alert because whatever the circumstances might be, it's not provable that they have been abducted for some reason, and you don't want to just, sit there and cry wolf all day long with Amber Alerts and nobody will pay attention to them. It turns out a lot of runaways are people that are just gone and coming back, and people will stop paying attention. But in California, they got to figure out a way to make everything about race, and they certainly do a good job at that.